I would just like to take a couple minutes to share in some memories with you. My family is here, and we're very, very excited about being here at the Super Bowl. This is actually my second one in Miami. I played in Super Bowl 13, and we actually won that year, which was 28 years ago, beat the Dallas Cowboys and won a Super Bowl, and it was an awesome feeling. It was fantastic. Some of the things that I remember, that was 1978, quite a while ago, and the first thing they told us was, you'll get to purchase 20 tickets, but they're $30 a piece. And I can remember as a second-year player saying, oh, man, $600. I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing that or not. And so we've come a long way. It's different. The hype is different. I was at the stadium the other day taping the pregame piece for CBS, and I saw they were putting up the concession stands, and the hot dogs are $30 this year. So we have changed a little bit, but some of the things that haven't changed are the thrill that goes along with it. Coming in the biggest game of your career, and the excitement and the energy and the enthusiasm around it, it's really been awesome. The people of the South Florida area, Miami and Fort Lauderdale, have been fantastic to us, and we appreciate that. But I have to say this, in looking back on that Super Bowl 28 years ago, I was 23 years old, and winning was fantastic. It was a great feeling walking off the field knowing that we had set a goal that year and accomplished it. But I have to tell you, that wasn't the greatest thing that happened to me that year. Earlier on, in July of that year, I was a second-year player coming into my second year with the Steelers, and I got sick right before training camp. Had a blood disease, didn't know exactly what was going on, but just felt tired and sluggish and couldn't get going. Got diagnosed with mononucleosis right before training camp started. And the doctors told me all I could do was really rest and take these blood tests, and when my white blood cell count got back to normal, they would let me start practicing again. And at first it didn't seem bad. Everybody was out in the hot sun practicing. I was resting, and it felt pretty good. But then after a week went by, 2 weeks, I started to get a little nervous and say, what if I'm not going to be able to play again? What if I'm not going to be able to make the team? What if I'm not going to get a chance to compete for my position? What's going to happen to my career? And it went that way for about 3 weeks. Fortunately, my roommate was a great, great Christian guy, my best friend, Dungy, and he was just watching me go through this. And after I was just bouncing back and forth and not really knowing what to say and how to react to this, he sat me down one night, late at night, I'll never forget it, and he said to me, you know what's happening to you? It's not sickness, it's not blood disease, it's not any of that. He said, the Lord's trying to find out where you are. And I said, what are you talking about? I'm right here in the dorm room. What do you mean, where am I? He said, no, he's trying to find out where you are. He said, you claim to be a Christian, and you say that Christ is the most important thing in your life, but now when you get to one little critical point that you're not sure what's going on, you're falling apart. He said, all he really wants to know is if he's in first place or if he's in second place. He said, because if he's in first place, everything's going to work out, everything's going to take care of itself, he's going to handle it. But if he's in second place, you'll never understand what he can do for you and what he wants you to do. And that hit me very hard because I had grown up in a Christian home and I had accepted Christ in my heart. But really, he was right, because up until that point, I kind of thought that Christianity was Sunday morning, going to church, doing the things that the minister said to do, and then kind of put everything in the background. It didn't really affect your job and what you did, didn't affect school and those kind of things. It was kind of a Sunday thing. And as we got to talk and explore the Bible, and Donnie really made me realize that it was one thing to want to get to heaven and have that assurance, but it was more than that to really being a Christian. It was just saying, you know what, everything I do, I'm going to live for God, let Him control it, and then see where it takes me. And that night we did. We talked about it, we prayed, and I said, God, I don't know what's going to happen with my career. I don't know what's going to happen with this disease. They say I could be out 3 weeks, or I could be out 3 months. I could be out the whole year. But it doesn't really matter. I am going to put you in first place. I'm going to stop worrying about things I can't control, and I'm going to see where you take my life. And that was 28 years ago. And everything that's said about me, people talk about the way I coach, how I live, what I do, is really not me. It's really from that moment saying, God, I'm going to put you in the driver's seat. I'm going to let you be the head coach of my life and take that wherever it takes me, whether it's coaching, whether it's anything else that I would do. And that was really the most important thing. That was the biggest thing that happened to me in 1978. We went on. I ended up getting up better, playing. We won the Super Bowl that year, and it was an awesome year. But I can tell you this from the bottom of my heart, that if we had won the Super Bowl, but I hadn't made that decision to put Christ in the driver's seat, these 28 years would have been totally different. They would have been totally different. The Super Bowl was an awesome thing, but I would venture to say there's not that many people, if I hadn't reminded you, that could have said who won the Super Bowl 28 years ago. But the impact that you can have for Christ, and I have a great platform. I have a public platform. But as a Christian, you can impact Christ whether you're a Super Bowl coach, whether you're whatever you do, by putting him first. And that's the lesson that I learned, and that's really the number one thing that drives me to stay in football, because I know I can share that message to people who wouldn't necessarily hear it in a church. And that's what my whole focus has been these 2 weeks since we won the championship game, to let people know, and I thank God that Lovie Smith is the same way, but to let people know that we are excited to be in the Super Bowl. It's a big deal. It's going to be a thrill. It's what we do, and it's the biggest game of the year, but it is so small compared to what God would have us do for him that we've got to keep that in perspective. And because we have to leave early and get to our meetings and get to our practice, normally my part is at the end. And you're going to hear some things from the rest of the people on this platform. You're going to hear about what the Lord's done in their life. You're going to hear about just how awesome it is to follow him. But at this point, I want to give everybody a chance. If you haven't done that, if you're like I was at that point, where you've heard about the Lord, you've heard about Christ and what he could do for you, but you've never really opened up and put him in first place and put him in the driver's seat, I'm going to give you that opportunity today, because I wouldn't want you to go away from here and just think that, hey, I went to something that really involved the Super Bowl, I heard some good things, but I had a chance to change my life and I didn't. It can change dramatically, and it doesn't take very much. It's not difficult. All you have to do is confess that you want that, and that you want God to take control, and he'll do that, and he'll do some awesome things with it and with your life. So I'm going to just lead you, and you can pray silently the prayer that I prayed that night. And if you do, believe me, you'll remember that long after you remember what happened in Super Bowl 41. So if you would just take a moment and bow your heads with me as I close, I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you.